I have the best plays in the NBA this Tuesday that you guys are absolutely not going to want to miss. My 4 favorite free plays for you all, taking them right here in this video. Guys, in the NBA, the past week, we cashed out on both of these 2 plays right here that you see on the screen in a row. 2 days back-to-back in a row. You see on the 27th and the 28th last week. All right, not a great day for us yesterday, I'll be completely honest. We're probably going to end up 1-3. Brandon Miller could not hit the ocean if he was trying to shoot for it. So bad. 33% from the field. I think he was 2 from 12 from 3. Absolutely horrendous. And then just gut-wrenching. Zion Williamson and Amen Thompson both missed their lines by 1. By exactly 1, both of them. So that's just like more of a slap in the face. Embiid's still going on right now. He's playing in this game right now, but I'm recording before that. I guess I still have the chance for the free play to hit. So we'll see about that, but I'm recording this now. I'm fed up with those picks yesterday. I was absolutely terrible. So we got to sweep today. We got to go 4-0 today. I have 4 brand new picks. Guys, you can be taking these picks on some of these great places where you get a lot of value, like Chalkboard. All right. On Chalkboard, they're going to give you a 100% deposit match and a free pick, and that deposit match is good for up to $100. So a free $100 just for depositing and matching, all right? You'll get a free square. Chalkboard also hands out profit boosts like pretty much every single day, and they do these daily drops. So get on there. You can get 50% profit boost like decently often. So get on there. Use my code TEACH10 to sign up. That is good to get you the deposit match and the free pick as well. So go get on there. Also, you guys can sign up to Novig. Novig's a bit of a newer up-and-coming platform. They're offering a 100% deposit match on $25, so $25 deposited into the app. You'll get another $25 to play with. Use my code TEACH10 to sign up. Both links for Novig and Chalkboard will be in the description of this video, so you guys can find those there and go sign up. All right, enough of that. Let's get into today's picks. Starting us off with our first play, OG Anunoby over 18.5 points and assists. He has gone over this line in 7 of his last 10 games, where he's averaging 21.8 points and assists combined. So you can see here some really good games, then some really not so good games where he doesn't really do all that much. And pretty consistent minutes over the last 10 games as well, so we'd like to see that. Also shooting the ball pretty well from the field as a total. 53% over his last 10 games, shooting over 13 shots a game. That's pretty good. 36% from 3, not too bad. Shot 50% in both of his last 2 games, going 4 for 8. We'd like to see that. 2 for 6, 3 for 4, 2 for 3. So last 5 games shooting very well from beyond 3. So we do like to see that. That's going to help out a lot in this matchup. The Knicks are going up against one of the worst teams in the league, the Washington Wizards, who are second worst in both points and assists allowed overall. And to power forwards, they are third worst in points allowed and 22nd in the league in assists allowed. A very favorable matchup for OG here. Kind of hoping the Knicks kind of just beat up on the Wizards in this game. OG probably gets a little bit more minutes, and not like garbage time minutes essentially, but he'll just be on the floor a little bit more later in the game if they're up by like 20 plus points. So we're looking for that. He's gone over 18.5 in 7 of his last 8 games versus bottom 10 defense for points allowed, and in those 8 games, he's averaging 21.63 points and assists combined. So even a bit of a little different sample size, but still, it's telling the same story. Very favorable matchup for OG. He's been hot in his last 10 games, plays well on the road against teams that are bad in terms of defending assists. Great matchup. Totally makes sense here. A no-brainer for our first pick. Now, before I get into my second play, which is my favorite play of the night, you guys can be getting my favorite play before you even see this YouTube video, right? In my free winnable store, I post my best free play every single day about an hour or 2 before the YouTube video drops. You guys can get that right here. The link will be in the description below. You guys can sign up for free. Yes, I do have VIP picks that are for weekly and monthly access, right? But I'm not asking you to sign up to the VIP. I'm just asking you to simply sign up for free so you guys can get notified when I'm being active and when I'm posting picks, right? Like I said, post my favorite play about an hour or 2 before the YouTube video drops, and then I will post when the YouTube video goes live, usually around like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, depending on the day and when games drop for the next day and when picks are active, all right? So go check that out. Link in the description of this video below so you can get notified when I'm posting. With that said, my favorite play for this Tuesday is Jaylen Brown over 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. He has gone over this line in 7 of his last 10 games, where he's averaging 41.8 points, rebounds, assists combined, so just slightly over this line that it's set at. But look at the consistency for the most part over these last 10 games, right? He's had 2 games where he's kind of been in the low 30s, maybe just doesn't shoot the ball that well in those games. Yeah, 38%. 47, 45, so when he shoots below 50%, not really good. But he's had some games where he hasn't shot well, but taken a lot of shots, so he's hitting more. So it kind of just depends on the shooting volume night. Hasn't taken as many shots in the last 3 games, but proven he's still been able to go over. Had a double-double last night with 30 points. In a lot of these games when he's going over, he's hitting that 30-plus point mark. You see in these 3 games where he missed, not coming close to the 30 points. Did have 1 game where he did not get 30 points and still went over. Again, he just barely went over. So probably going to need at least 30 points from him. Obviously, that's where most of the stats come from this combined total. But in this matchup against the Mavericks are 20th in the league in points allowed and 27th in the league in rebounds allowed. 14th in the league in assists allowed. It's a little bit better, but against the small forward matchup, not as favorable, actually. So you're probably like, well, this is not really pleading for your case. Sure, I understand that. But look, they're second to worst in the league in assists allowed. All right. 14th in the league in rebounds allowed, so still not that good. 8th in the league in points allowed, giving up about 20 points per game to small forwards. So pretty good defending there. Does it make me a little hesitant? Sure. Not really. But Jaylen Brown's proven he can play well against good or bad matchups as well in these last 10 games. Look at here. Against the Bucks, a decent matchup. Goes over. Favorable matchups in back-to-back games doesn't even come close, right? Favorable matchup, decent matchup, a favorable matchup, a not-so-favorable matchup, and still goes over, right? Second best team in the Pistons. Hawks goes over, favorable matchup goes under, right? And an unfavorable matchup and goes over. So he's proven he can still hit this against the big dogs and beat up against the little pups as well. So it still makes me feel really good about this play. Also, he's gone over this 41.5 in 6 of his last 7 games on the road. And in those 7 games, he's averaging 46.3 points, rebounds, and assists combined. Bit of a road warrior recently is Jaylen Brown. So I absolutely love this. Only 1 game where he hasn't gone under 40. Had a monster game, 50-point game against the Clippers a while ago. So, yeah, I absolutely love this play because of that. Been a road warrior recently, going on the road to Dallas, where I'm actually located at, and I'm looking for him to go for 30-plus points. That's what's really going to be the key, 30-plus points. He can clean up on the rebounds and assists, like you see, triple-double here. He can clean that up and get his own elsewhere. We really need the points. Need him to shoot well. 30% from 3 doesn't make me feel good, but he's made at least 2 threes in his last – oh, wait, these are – his last road games. Actually, we can go back to this. His last road games, right? 6 of his last road games, he's made at least 2 threes. Okay. And in his last 10, you can see went 0 for 2 games ago, but went 4 for 6 his last game. So proves he can shoot the ball well. Just need him to do it tomorrow night against the Mavs. So that is my favorite play of the day for this Tuesday. Let's head into pick number 2. Pick number 3, Desmond Bane over 23.5 points and rebounds. This line's kind of been bopping up and down between 22.5, 23.5. Kind of wish we got it at 22.5, but I still like it at 23.5 as well. We're still getting decent pricing on some apps like FanDuel, Fliff, PrizePicks, and Sleeper as well. All right. Why? Because Desmond Bane's gone over this line in 7 of his last 10 games, right? And he's gone over in actually 5 of his last 6 games, and 1 game where he just missed by 1. So almost 6 out of 6, right? So he's been pretty consistent over his last few games, going up against a tough Oklahoma City Thunder matchup, right? Everyone knows how good the Thunder are this year. Number 1 in points, but 24th in rebounds allowed. So the rebounds where we're probably going to need to get some help and some boosts. Because against the shooting guard matchup, we actually do have a favorable matchup here. 16th in points allowed. They're giving up over 27 points per game to shooting guards. Desmond Bane's been shooting the ball well. He's been on a heater. 25th in rebounds allowed. They allow 9 rebounds per game to shooting guards. That's terrible. That is so bad. Almost double-digit rebounds allowed to a shooting guard, to a guard, right? Not good at all, but very good for us. Again, Desmond Bain shooting 52% over his last 10 games on over 15 attempts per game is crazy. 42% from three included in that. That's really good as well. Gets a couple free throws per game as well. Helps out playing over 36 minutes per game. He played even a little bit more in his last 5 here as well, closer to like 37. So he's on the floor for a lot of the time. It's just a matter of making him making the most of it. Look at the shooting, though. The last 6 games. 62%, 50%, 41%, 63%, 73%, 59%. The dude is just shooting absolutely lights out. We got a favorable matchup in the shooting guard matchup against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I love this play. I almost made it my favorite play. I kind of like it maybe a little bit more, but I love this play. So that is our third play of the night, Desmond Bain over 23.5 points and rebounds. Now, before we get into our last play, guys, if you are not already signed up to the app Pikkit, you guys need to sign up to this app. Why? Because it keeps track of all of your sports betting picks. If you guys are betting on sports, especially a bunch of different sports, and you're on a bunch of different apps, you guys need to be tracking your picks and be responsible with your gambling, right? There's always ups and downs with sports gambling. You guys need to stay on top of your picks and really be tracking what you're doing so you have a hold on your gambling. All right. What Pikkit does, it syncs up all of your different sports books that you use across all different platforms, puts it into one app so you can see all of your combined records and balances, right? So you can track where your money is at, your records, without having to bounce through all the different apps and scroll through, right? Also, Pikkit's actually going to pay new users to sign up to their platform. That's right. They're going to pay you $3 or $100, right? Directly to your Venmo or PayPal. All you have to do, download the Pikkit app, use my promo code TEACH10 when you sign up to Pikkit, sync up a sportsbook that has 10 more bets placed on it, and you will get that deposit into your account. There's no catch at all, no subscription service you have to sign up for, no one-time fee you have to pay for. It's a totally free app, and they are actually going to pay you. The link for Pikkit will be down below in the description of this video. Guys, start tracking your picks. You need to stay on top of it, all right? With that being said, let's head into our fourth and final pick, that being Mark Williams, under 8.5 rebounds. Bit of an odd pick, but he's gone under 8.5 rebounds in 8 of his last 10 games, where he's averaging 7 rebounds, so about 2 under. That really helps, right? Only had 2 games where he's gone over, and he just goes over by 1 rebound, right? On the season, hitting at about 64% rate on this under, but you can see later in the season, he's got a few games where he's kind of spiked up and he'll go for a crazy amount, but like recently, you know, in these last 10, like it really hasn't been getting the job done and getting the rebounds, right? Doesn't necessarily get a ton of rebound chances. 12.5 per game, it's decent, right? Probably because he's only playing 24 minutes. That's why. Playing 24 minutes, you're not going to get as many chances if you're playing like even 28, 30 minutes a game, 30 plus minutes. So that's really where I think this helps us, is that he's just not playing as many minutes per game necessary to go over this line. So that's why we're taking the under. The Suns are going up against the Portland Trailblazers in a late game this Tuesday night. All right, and against the center position, the Trailblazers are about middle of the pack, 16th in the league in rebounds allowed, giving about 12.5 rebounds per game to centers, right? Williams being the starting center, but doesn't always play as many minutes, right? Only 24 minutes. So even though he starts, not always going to be on the floor the entire time. 12.5 rebound chances per game lines up with what the Trailblazers give up. So, I feel pretty good about this play, honestly. We just need him to get off to a slow start. Not going to have a Jared Allen game like we did a few days ago, where he has a legacy game, goes for 40 points and almost has a triple-double. So, love this play for our fourth play to round us out. Here are our 4 plays recapped before we get on out of here. Starting us off, OG Anunoby over 18.5 points and assists. Jaylen Brown over 41.5 points, rebounds, and assists. This is my favorite play of the night. Desmond Bain over 23.5 points and rebounds, and Mark Williams under 8.5 rebounds. Those are my 4 plays for this NBA Tuesday. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share these videos, turn on the post notifications so you guys know when I am posting and when my YouTube videos go live. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow for more picks.